Hey, great Tuesday morning. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning in Ciudad de Mexico. And, and I'm trying to get this little tilt out of the way. Am I tilting? I'm using the iPad. It's kind of weird because I don't even know where the damn camera is at. I think it's right there. Yeah. Morning, Frankie.
Morning, rookie. Hello, world.
Look.
A little bit
Pues
under the
que,
weather, feeling groggy. Like the change. Like the change. Hopefully, we can go back to cold. It's been cold in the evenings. Hopefully, we could stay like that. Hopefully, throughout the month of December. Um, I guess interesting things have been happening lately, Erasmo. So it'll be interesting to see what we dive into.
uh, well, let me say, first of all, I'm in Ciudad de Mexico. Quick little trip. I need to go to the consulado venezolano and consulado, maybe consulado americano, not sure. But just a quick little trip. I should be back Thursday. It's a different type of trip because I flew from Mexico and I'm flying back into the United States. So I actually had to bring both passports. See how that goes. It'd be interesting. I'm wondering if they're going to like question me as to how I entered the country, you know, as an American. I said, well, I'm going to tell them I came as a Mexican. It's good to have two passports, but it has been an interesting, crazy week. Let me say, I talked a little bit about it yesterday. Congratulations, Chargers, man. Chihuahuas. That was amazing, man. And thank you, Frankie. I mentioned this yesterday. I hardly ever give you any praise because you don't deserve it. But I mentioned this yesterday as the because I watched it on your feed, and I think you had at one point like 800 people on there, no, watching the damn game.
Yeah, it got several people sharing it and a lot of live viewers. I think the most I got was close to 900. Overall, it was
Yeah, so
18,000. Uh, One thing that Asmo also touching on that subject, if I could just jump into it already, the tickets they you would think that this fifth round, this previous game at Sam Stadium sold 10,000, 11,000 more or less. Supposedly that for this game, the fifth round, that they only sold 5,500 tickets. That's all they had. And I think recently, I think you shared that they're either going to be selling once again. I
yeah.
would just question I guess the number of tickets, but there's this drama right now going on that supposedly that the Corpus people are buying in bulk because they don't want the Valley, the Valley teams the Valley crowd, I guess, to have more
To be
numbers, so to
represented.
speak. So
Yeah.
it's interesting, man. It's Texas football in December. It's just an awesome feeling for Brazil.
Uh, Let me tell you, I don't think it's well, I know for a fact that it's never happened. I don't think we've ever gone this far ever. And it's just historic. And we talked about it last week, and I said, I don't know if we're going to make it or not. And I had to eat my words again. Nothing against the team or the staff. I mean, amazing coaching staff, amazing players. It's just great, and we're hoping we get past this round and get on to the next one. That that would be crazy. You know that they had like a little pitada down Military Highway. Did you see that?
I saw that there's a lot of people out there. It was good. It looked
So good.
like people had fun. That's cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. Amazing. And I just got back from San Luis Potosi. They got some good candy in San Luis Potosi. Let me tell you, I love San Luis Potosi. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spot. One of the things that I think is so amazing that you drive around town, Frankie, and you see a lot of the school colors all over the place. And I'm seeing a lot of buses and a lot of vehicles, Chargers and veterans and all this stuff. I think that's pretty awesome. Hasta el Charlie Clark andaba todo contento, todo making his videos and stuff. Uh, That's amazing. And that's the kind of stuff that warms your heart. Having community come together and supporting our kids, man. And I'm hoping that with this, individuals start to appreciate more the value of community coming together and doing stuff for our kids. And again, going to throw out what I always throw out there. Our kids deserve so much better than what these politicians have given them. A lot better. And one of the things that I think that we need to start focusing on is, making our stadiums a little bit bigger or improving our stadiums, and also redirecting a lot of the money that is swindled, put in individuals' pockets, and bring it back to the students. And I know people say that este es un disco rayado, but $53 million, guys, $53 million that were earmarked, put aside for the Performing Arts Center, for the PAC, for our band students, our uh, fine arts students, disappeared. And that's the kind of stuff, guys, that needs to be reinvested in our kids. Because si así, Frankie, con tan poquito, our kids are making history for us. Our band students, our choral choir, our performing students, they're doing amazing. Our football players, our soccer players. Let's start investing back in our students, Frankie.
Yeah, you're right. The talent that there is here, and they do have a lot of potential. Um, but as we all know, the money that is geared for or meant to improve the quality of either education or even their opportunities is always spent on other things. You have teachers that I'm not sure if they're going to get the everybody is having Christmas holiday bonuses or whatever, and I'm not sure if they're going to get the raise from the vote back in November in the December check if they've already got it in Thanksgiving. um but you see that the priorities is not the kids, it's the priorities of how are we going to make a buck, how are we going to advance our own personal agendas, our own political aspirations, ambitions. It's always like that. And we always use the analogy, like we always get the crumbs, they always get the bigger piece.
The bigger slice of the pie, unfortunately. And again, not trying, not trying to beat a dead horse, but oh yeah, guys, it's time. And I'm hoping that the community coming together, focuses on that. Like, hey, you know what, our kids deserve so much better. The district should allow the team to travel up there on Thursday so the team can get rested up Thursday evening and be fresh for the game on Friday. I think that's an amazing idea. I think one of the things that I saw, and Miss Miller is making mention of it, there is going to be a caravan, and that caravan should be for parents and for other individuals. But I agree, why not send our kids a day before, and house them up in a hotel or something, and let them be fresh for the game. That I think that's an amazing idea, Victor. Brownsville's not like we go to state all the time. Well, maybe this is the start of us starting to go to state, more often. I think that with every team, it's like with a soccer team. I don't think anyone thought that our soccer players were going to be able to go to state, and they sure as hell did. And now there's that expectation, for them, to make it all the way to state. O sea, what veterans has done, what our Chargers have done, they've set the bar, Frankie. And now Hannah, Porter, Rivera, Lopez, now they Pace, now they all have to fight and prepare, to equal or surpass what the Chargers have done as at this moment.
Yeah, as of right now, this is going to be a year to remember. Everybody's going to talk about this 2023 football team, and they're going to say, "Oh yeah, we saw the comeback and we saw how far they went." And it's awesome. Brownsville hasn't had that. Besides, of course, you spoke about the soccer teams. We do have several schools that are always competing in state, and sometimes we do win one here and there. But it is awesome to have a Brownsville school be this deep in the playoffs, this deep in the year. Um, it's a memorable one. It's something that many people are going to talk about for forever.
A giant stadium would just sit there with cobwebs there all the time. We don't get concerts or anything, but we should. See, that's the point. We should. And what I'm trying to get at is, if we, the community, continue to join up, come together, and demand better things for our students in our community, then why can't we have concerts like Edinburgh? Why can't we have soccer teams like Edinburgh, Westlaco? Why can't we have major events? Why can't we have Comic Con? I've always said it. Why can't we have Comic Con in Brownsville instead of it having to go to McAllen? And I know that they've got a contract with McAllen, which is, very smart on McAllen's point. But Comic Con is huge. I mean, it is just huge. McAllen gets, I think, no, Edinburgh or McAllen, they always get the wrestling matches, Frankie. They've got SmackDown come down and stuff. Why is it always them? And again, and they just had the Christmas parade. I don't know if you saw the pictures, Frankie. They always have these huge Christmas parades. And at first, they went into the red with millions of dollars cuando trajeron a Enrique Iglesias and other individuals. But who cares? They're coming into the red and putting it into the community. That's what we need to focus on. We need to demand that our elected officials, our leadership here in the city of Brownsville, start investing the money that is around and goes into the pocket back into the community. Guys, again, think, we have a port, Frankie. We have an airport. We have bridges. We have beaches. We have SpaceX. We have South Padre Island in our backyard. We have so much. And with all these resources, we tend to fall behind every single city here in the valley. Es una vergüenza. Bonus from BISD, they're disappearing like the art center. Remember? Oh yeah, we just talked about that. We can't even get covered bus. Yeah, disappearing mayors because they spend the money out city pockets and money instead. Yeah, 100%. I could probably get the big names. Look how I get people from all over the world, but we need to pay for these stars to do their thing. Yeah, I agree. We need something. Let me say, so yeah, thanks again, Frankie, for streaming the Chargers game. I'm sure that you're probably going to be streaming the one on Friday, and that's going to be amazing. I think that there's a couple of restaurants out there that might be interested. You might need to contact them. Might be interested in streaming your feed on there, which is good. I'm hoping that more and more local businesses have the game on. It's going to be amazing. Uh, but for some reason, Frankie, you tend to be in the spotlight a lot as of recent. You broke the charger. Well, you said put up the charger feed out there, which 900 plus thousand people were out there watching at a certain point. But you also broke the story that is being published out here throughout the social media, and I saw it today on one of the blogs out there, the Run, the story about Eddie Garcia and his love interest there at FNS. Uh, Congratulations again. I can't say that I'm not a little bit on the jealous side, but great reporting. And again, it's not let's smear Eddie Garcia thing. When we were first talking about it, our concern was staff members feeling intimidated into doing things that they knew or were inappropriate and unethical. What's your take on more and more individuals out there talking about the I guess you call it the pan that's going on in the BISD?
Uh, yeah, it's everything that we do. We do it on a professional level, in the sense of the actions done taken by board member Garcia is nothing personal. It's more of taking advantage of a position. When people vote, we entrust you not to use it for their benefit. And what is interesting in all this, Erasmo, is how is the board going to react from this? Now, the reasons given by two board members, Board President Gonzalez and Board Member Garza, the reasons why they were voting no to this, internet gossip, as they called it, was because that they didn't have the evidence in front of them. The email, the attachment that was requested by board member Dizondo was given to the board members on the day of the board meeting, so they claimed that we didn't have a chance to see it. Well, whenever we go through the email, we see how this administrator, this department head, she felt like she was being harassed, that she should award Mr. Uh, board member Garcia's friend a job. If not, something would probably happened to her. And I think she even mentions that. She says that she did say that, I'm gonna get this job, he's gonna give me this job, and if not, he's gonna come after you or something like that. That's very damning. Um, to me, that and you have covered this quite frequently, how the teachers, the employees, there is that sense of fear that, you know, you at Osmo, you have the luxury of being a self-proprietor, an entrepreneur, that you make your money. These individuals, they have to rely on these jobs. They're not able to publicly express themselves. So whenever this department head confides through an email, and we're talking about what, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, to administration, saying, you know what, I don't feel comfortable, uh, I should reach out and put this in writing. That is very damning within itself. One, I feel as if two things should happen. And again, I'm speaking for myself as a layperson. I haven't spoken to anybody. I feel as if, one, a lawsuit should be filed because the superintendent at that time, Rene Gutierrez, and the HR director did not attend to her concerns. Uh,
Mhm.
that is possibly retaliation in the sense of not acting upon a it's not a formal complaint, but it's a concern. And whether it's a complaint or a concern, in my opinion, they should both be handled in the same manner. uh
Yes.
at 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 the at the most urgent time, look into this matter, make sure that. But again, that is the culture at BISD. So what this does at Osmo, it paints a picture of corruption, of official oppression, of BISD being what it's known for, all these things. And by what I found interesting was that the superintendent, he okayed this freedom of information request to be disseminated. Uh, he has no ties to board member Garcia. Board member Garcia was helped by previous superintendent Rene Gutierrez. Now we are seeing the majority. They are covering up for him. They are protecting him as of right now. But now that the community knows and has seen an email, to me personally, as a layperson, that is a very damning email. We go back to the whole Minerva Peña situation, and unfortunately, there was a loss of life in that case. That's the only reason why I think authority stepped in. But isn't that similar, in your opinion?
Oh
Official
yeah.
oppression, what happened to Miss uh, Board Member
Jackie.
Peña?
Oh yeah.
That's the same situation. What's happening over here? Hey, is this auditor position open? Well, you should hire Muchachita Rosa. And they're like, what? And then she changed the conversation, and then it goes back to she's the best for the job. So it's very disheartening whenever board members, elected officials, use their position for their own benefit. Now, was she the best candidate? Maybe, but why? So it's just very damning, in my opinion. I think the board should look into this matter once again and actually have a third party from the outside investigate and give a report, because the message that we are sending to BISD employees is, if you get harassed, if you feel like if you are threatened, I'm sorry, you're on your own. And that's not the message that we should be sending.
Well, what's interesting, Frankie, is you have a female-led majority on the school board. and the female-led majority on the school board, Frankie, have not taken action in regards to what has happened to a fellow female. You know, and again, 7 members of that board of trustees, their responsibility is not to oversee and protect their fellow board members. Their responsibility, Frankie, is to represent and protect 6,500 employees. That's their responsibility, to oversee that everything is well with 6,500 employees. Now, said this before, we'll say this again. 6,500 employees need to come out, unite, and demand that action be taken, to whereas all the other board members also are held accountable for this travesty. My question is it on the verge, because someone mentioned it being illegal, is it on the verge of being illegal? And that's my question. Is it on the verge of being illegal, Frankie? Political oppression? That's my question. And if such is the case, and again, like Roman says, I'm not an attorney and I don't pretend to be one, but if that is the case, Frankie, will our district attorney, Luis Saenz, initiate an investigation? Because I mean, he went after, I think, a commissioner in Harlingen, Mara, sometime back, and they had talked about going after the one in San Benito, because they fall in Cameron County. Will they go? Will they start initiate an investigation, against one of their own? Because I tend to believe that Eddie Garcia falls in that little circle that they're all a part of. I don't know. You work closer to the legal system than I. Is it on the verge of being political oppression to where it's being illegal?
Again, as a layperson, to me it does. From the outside, it does. I personally don't think that anything will come of this, which is sad. One, because the district attorney, through marriage or through family or somehow, is related to his family, either through his wife or so. There is some sort of connection there. So I don't feel as if charges will be brought, but we need to make a more stink about this. And for him personally, looking at it um from his perspective, what a worse time for this to come out during campaign season. We're 2 months away from the primaries, and we have this individual who's running for another office, and even, in my opinion, well, obviously it is a bigger office because now he will be in charge of all of Cameron County. And if this is the way he conducted himself as a board member, what's us to not to say or to allude that he's going to continue and probably do other things. But again, it's not a good look for him politically, because we're 2 months away from the primary. But will anything happen to him? I personally don't think nothing will happen. The board's going to continue to do what they do and use the veterans game as a hey, this is our attention right now, and
Squirrel.
everything else could wait until whenever.
6,540 are without respect, representation, and regards. The board only protects themselves. They don't care about the staff, the teacher. And let me say, guys, and we're not talking about all 7 board members. We're talking about the 4 that are in the majority, which Eddie Garcia is a part of. 4 individuals care more about protecting their compadres than protecting 6,540 employees. It's a very sad situation. The last thing, Frankie, I know we've got a couple more minutes. The last thing, Frankie, make sure that you know where you park your car.
Man, I actually wanted to discuss this because it's a give and take. I'm gonna give my quick 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, and then I'll let you go. But I could see it from both sides, right? One could say, oh, by them towing the cars, they're not supporting the veterans. $300 a pop. There's
400.
the $400 a pop. They get a cut from with the tow trucks and things like that. But on the other side, it is a business. I believe they were in operation since the game,
No.
and people were parking not at 7. People were parking earlier than that. If they had a sign that it is private property, in my opinion, they are entitled to get
Fair
those
game.
cars out of their way because it is a business. I understand that. Now, if the individuals went and asked or maybe purchased some pan and said, "Hey, I'm a customer," maybe you could ask them if you could park. But me, I'm more on the business side. I hate to go against the wave. Did they take an advantage of a situation? Perhaps, but at the same time, as a business owner, a small business owner, you have to look out for yourself. And if that is impeding you, and again, I'm just using it from, I wasn't there, but one could say that they're impeding you from getting business, because if you see that it's full, well, you're not going to stop unless it's like a wow bakery where you have to stop. I understand the community's frustration and uproar, and I personally wouldn't have done that personally. The next time I would have been like on guard, but I personally understand why it was done. I hate to say it.
Let me say that I agree with you to a certain degree, except it's a one in a lifetime event. And look, guys, it's a one in a lifetime event. Close the shop for an hour, cover the signs, do what Darling Mauser did. Darling Mauser, Frankie, they opened the 3 parking lots and said, guys, have at it. You know, dale gas. It's a Chargers game, everything else. There was a couple of other businesses, Frankie, like, I'm going to call them a business, the Presbyterian Church, that reached out to me, said, Erasmo, our church, it's 6 blocks away, 5 blocks away. We're going to have parking. We're going to charge a little fee for funds for our church, but we're going to watch the cars, make sure that they're safe. So let the community know. So I did, and again, I would have preferred for a business or for a church or for someone to say, hey, here's my parking lot. Te voy a cobrar $10, $20. Come park over here and have someone watch over my car. I really wish that the bakery and the owner of that little plaza would have covered up the signs. Frankie, this is something that we do at our place of business downtown. We let individuals park at our office downtown freely, despite having the signs up there. They could park all they want during Charo days because it's the parade, because it's a one time thing. We could be the stinkers and start going like, hey, you can't park here. This is our parking lot. We're going to stay up late because it's tax season, Frankie, in February. And, we don't want you parking here. But we don't do that. Park, Dios contigo, and we're going to miss a couple of hours of work in those evenings. Pero people are enjoying themselves in the community. You don't want to be that person that has those signs and enforces those signs when it's a one time a year thing. In this case, it's a once in a lifetime thing. I really wish that the bakery would have taken a little bit better judgment. And one of the things, let me say, and again, I received a call and they said, Erasmo, we want you to understand that we, the bakery, uh, you know, had no control over it, just had the signs there. We didn't call individuals and, the towing company. I also got a call from the towing company. I haven't been able to talk to them because I've been going back and forth. I was in Monterrey, came back, flew out to Mexico. I will call them today. And again, guys, we're not trying to hurt any business out here. I just think that better judgment should have been should have been in play. My concern, Frankie, was individuals coming to Brownsville and from Corpus, and deciding to park in a parking lot where businesses were closed or empty, and then walking out of the game and not having a car to go back to, and you live in Corpus or Robstown or one of those other rancho places up there. So I don't know. it's kind of a sad situation. I'm going to have a conversation today with the bakery people again, and I'm going to have a conversation with the towing companies again today. And again, guys, don't don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. We're just out here letting individuals in the community know what happened. And I think I appreciate Frankie, trying to be devil's advocate and play both sides. I agree. Again, it's a once in a lifetime situation. The owners of that parking lot should have, responded in a different way. That's my take. But what do we know, Frankie? Maybe they could have charged for parking and still made some money. Yeah, that's what I agree. That's what and have someone there. Pay the guy 20, $30. Have someone there watching over the cars just to make sure that the cars were safe. Charge him $20. The one in the apartments, Frankie, in front of the stadium were charging $40. And charge
40
$20 a
bucks.
put.
But I would have paid. Hey, you're right across the stadium. Traffic would have been crazy, but at least you know it's there.
So closing the store, sell tickets for parking. There was no planning by a lot of people. Yeah. Again, I wish they would have did it. Again, I appreciate Darling Mauser, the Presbyterian Church out there, also reached out to us. And yeah, man, the whoever owns that Jefferson Apartments out there, $40. I agree with Frankie. I would have paid the $40. My car would have been so close, protected, and everything else. Fair game. $400 is a lot of money for folk here in Brownsville.
What would you rather pay? $40 or 400?
Yeah,
I'll pay the $40 all day.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. But again, I'm going to have a conversation with the bakery folks today. Sorry, guys. And again, I'm just sharing what that's being out there posted, and I will have a conversation with the towing companies. I think both the towing companies that were in question were out there reaching out to me. So again, I'll have conversations with you. And I'm sorry I haven't had the chance to respond. I've been crazy busy. Thanks for coming on, Frankie. We'll see who we get on tonight. I'll try to be on tonight. Someone sent me a message last night. Going, where's the show tonight? I said, flying into Mexico City. Sorry, but we'll see what happens tonight. It just depends on how much work I have to do.
Sorry, peasants, I'm busy. No show.
I love y'all. Thanks, Frankie. Guys, have a great day. Keep on watching the pages. Keep on adding Frankie's page to be ready for the live streams out there. They'll be important. They'll be good to watch. And to any local business out there, one of the things that I appreciate, real quick, and I know our time is up. One of the things I appreciate, Frankie, is that you comment on the feeds. I was watching a lot of your comments, and I think that was kind of cool. I kind of really like that. Tuve pasión con Royal. I thought it was kind of cool that you were out there commenting. It was really cool. So hats off. Good job, guys. Have a great day. See you tonight, 9 p.m. maybe. Be good to each other. Continue to be good to me.